Five more common misconceptions. Number 5. Plant magic. Common misconception: plants turn carbon dioxide into oxygen. I suspect this will come as a surprise to most people, but while plants do produce oxygen, they do not do it by converting carbon dioxide. The process by which this all happens is called photosynthesis and is a relatively complex process, but to put it simply, plants convert carbon dioxide into carbohydrate precursors and water, fuel for the plant. This is a light-independent process. It doesn't need light to perform this task. So how do plants make oxygen for us to breathe? It uses a light-dependent process. This requires light. It takes the light and converts it to potential energy. The byproduct of this process is oxygen. Number 4. Common misconception: the North Pole is north and the South Pole is south. Actually, in terms of physics, the North Pole, while geographically in the north, is actually a south magnetic pole, and the South Pole, geographically in the south, is a north magnetic pole. When your compass is pointing north, it is actually pointing to the south pole of Earth's magnetic field. 780,000 years ago, this would not have been the case, as the magnetic poles of the Earth were reversed. This is called a geomagnetic reversal. Oh, and just to complicate things further, the poles drift around randomly. They are not in a fixed spot. This is most likely due to movements in the molten nickel-iron alloy in the Earth's core. Number 3. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Common misconception: a mirror image reverses left and right. When we look in a mirror, our left and right sides appear to be reversed. Left is right and right is left. In fact, what has really happened is that the mirror has inverted us front and back. The reason that we think it is a left-to-right reversal is that we are used to a person's left and right being reversed when they turn to face us. So what is the mirror doing? Imagine a person with their back to us doing a handstand to face us. Rather than turning around, their right and left remain the same but their top and bottom swap. Looking into a mirror has the same effect. Nothing reverses in the mirror, not bottom and top, not left and right. Number 2. Melting glass. Common misconception: glass is actually a very slow-flowing liquid. First of all, this is not true. Secondly, the reason many people believe it is due to the nature of old panes of glass in which the bottom appears to be thicker than the top, suggesting that the glass is melting and pooling at the bottom. The reason for this distortion in the glass is the method of manufacturing in the past. You will notice that you don't see this melting behavior in modern glass windows. Glass is actually an amorphous ceramic. Number 1. Free as a bird. Common misconception: Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. In fact, it freed little or no slaves. Why? Because the Emancipation Proclamation, 1862, declared the freedom of all slaves in the Confederate States, that is, the states over which Lincoln and the Union government had no control. Furthermore, it did not free slaves from any of the states that were already under Union control. This would be, in a sense, like Australia trying to declare law binding on New Zealanders, when they are two separate nations. The Emancipation Proclamation was, effectively, worthless. It was not until the 13th Amendment, December 6, 1865, that slavery was officially abolished in full.